I thought I knew what it meant to be non-binary. Turns out, not fully. Welcome to Being a Better Ally, a series for us to connect, ask questions, and learn together. I'm not an expert, I'm just curious and trying to do better. Gender diversity has existed for centuries.
He just said that throughout history, gender expression has been fluid, right?
Yeah.
But then he just said that gender expression is not the same thing as gender identity.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gaze. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson and special guest Misha.
Hi.
I keep messing it up.
Try it.
Petrov.
Petrov.
Oh.
I cooked down.
Petrov.
You were close.
Become a channel member if you haven't yet. We're about to play a really funny game with Misha that you're going to want to see, but it's only for the membies. So hit the join button or link in the description.
Normies.
Oh, yeah.
Have a name for that.
Normies. But
Yeah.
they're not normal. Like,
yeah, that's the joke.
that's the joke, I guess.
Yeah.
She probably thinks we're so weird after spending the last half an hour
I'm
with
learning
us.
a lot. I'm learning a lot.
Things you never wanted to learn.
No, it's interesting.
Anyway, we're going to talk about the worst group of woke people on the internet. Can you guess?
Well, aren't they
Non-binary?
all kind of?
No, well, valid. But no, allies
Like straight white men
who are trying to be performative allies to
stick
get
with-
poo-tang.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind them that much.
Really? Okay.
Well, all
I
right.
guess it depends. I wouldn't call them the worst. I think non-binaries are the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But some of them are a little too much.
All right. Well, this guy is doing a whole series on Instagram called How to Be a Better Ally.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to learn.
So we're going to get educated.
Okay.
Here is episode 3 of Being a Better Ally.
I thought I knew what it meant to be non-binary. Turns out, not fully. Welcome to Being a Better Ally, a series for us to connect, ask questions, and learn together. I'm not an expert, I'm just curious and trying to do better. Today we're learning what it means to be non-binary, a gender identity for people who don't exclusively identify as men or women, also known as the binary. What I hadn't fully grasped is that non-binary isn't just one thing. Some people feel between genders, some beyond gender, and some outside of the concept of gender completely. Because of this, a lot of people use non-binary as an umbrella term, including identities like demigender, gender fluid, agender, and many more. Importantly, gender identity is not the same as gender expression. So a non-binary person doesn't have to look androgynous to prove their gender. They can dress masc, femme, or however they like. As someone who's passionate about genderless fashion, this is something that really hits home. The non-binary concept is also not new. From the Hijra in South Asia to the Mahu in native Hawaiian cultures, gender diversity has existed for centuries. Many use they-them pronouns, but others use he, they, she, they, ze, them.
He just said that throughout history, gender expression has been fluid, right?
Yeah.
But then he just said that gender expression is not the same thing as gender identity. But the metric he's using to say that in history, gender expression has been fluid is the way you present gender. So
Right.
it doesn't. Oh my God.
So you could be masculine, feminine presenting, but that doesn't matter. That's not what determines whether or not you're non-binary. But also biology is not what determines it.
So what does?
So what does? But-
Nothing.
But it's on us to monitor our language, the pronouns we use, and to educate ourselves to be better
Also,
allies.
what does it mean to be in between genders or outside of genders?
Under genders,
or
over
above them?
genders?
This video just really made me want to start saying slurs.
I want to pull him aside and I want to interview him. I want to say, hey, what does it mean to be in between genders?
Yeah.
And what is the difference of being in between a gender and being outside of gender?
But he doesn't know he's not non-binary.
He's
an
going to say, oh,
ally.
I don't know everything. I just
It's
need to
about
be
how
educated.
you feel.
I do not subscribe
So
to this.
I'm having a very woke person on one of my debate panels tomorrow, actually.
Mhm.
And this segment won't come out for a few days until after that, though. And we're going to talk about trans and non-binary issues. And I have some follow-up questions planned about just like, what is non-binary? Explain it without using sexist stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to see how she will be able to respond to that, because I've yet to ever hear anyone articulate a version or definition of non-binary that isn't incomprehensibly like contradictory gobbledygook or meaningless
Yeah.
or deeply offensive.
I just feel like I am very open-minded to opposing arguments to a fault, actually, because sometimes I feel like I don't know what I believe because I'm so open to it.
Mhm.
But I have never heard anybody say any coherent argument for non-binary.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
It
I've
doesn't
heard-
make any sense.
I've heard a lot of people try, but I've never heard a
Yeah,
single one.
it doesn't make any sense. And then it always just boils down to, actually, you know what? People like him are the worst type of woke.
Yeah.
Because non-binary people, they're clinically insane. But this guy is just lying.
He's pretending to believe it. He doesn't believe
Yeah.
any of the. He's trying to get woke hot women to
Yeah.
sleep with him.
He's
And
feeding into the
what his
illusion.
argument's going to end up being is like, why do you care so much? It's like,
You just made like an essay, all your TikToks
right.
about that.
Because
do
I
you
care about
care?
the truth. I care about things making sense logically.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, because then they'll call you a bigot if you don't
Yeah.
use the right pronouns and you
Just
don't.
let people live their lives.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, can we all live our lives knowing, all agreeing that the sky is blue?
I mean,
Or is
I'm
it
not
allowed?
I don't think any of us are trying to make it illegal to call yourself
No, you
non-binary.
No, do what you
can.
want, but I'm gonna judge you.
But yeah, you can't expect us to always use the right pronouns or to, study this, because when a category or a definition like means everything, it's gonna mean nothing.
And she ate, I fear.
No, it's true. It's true.
I mean, even it's the same thing with like a lot of, and I'm going to flip it. I'm going to
Mhm.
attack the right a little bit because like when it comes to political discussion, the right will say things that are just blatantly untrue and pretend that they're fact. And that's part of the reason. And the left does it too a lot, but like the right has been doing it a lot on other things. And that's why like political discourse is so bad in this country. Like we have to have an agreed upon reality.
Mhm.
We cannot just sit here and say random things are true and then be like, oh, just tolerate that behavior. Like, no, that we need some form of social cohesion.
Yeah.
Why don't we base it in truth? I don't know.
Crazy
That's
Agreed.
take. But we're also going to learn. He's doing a whole series, and it like somehow keeps getting worse.
Oh.
Is he
So-
getting a lot of clicks with this?
He's getting a decent amount, and a lot of positive comments being like, "Oh, we need allies like this," or like, "Yes, King."
It's 15-year-olds.
That's a cult. He tells himself that. That's a cult.
Well, who has the most time to be online?
Lots of unemployed
Well, teens.
non-binaries.
Yeah, but
and
I think that most online discourse is dictated by teenagers.
I
and
disagree. I
politicians.
actually think everyone has too much time to be online. I think everyone's spending hours
I think you need
on
to
their
spend some
devices.
time in regular America where people work 9 to 5s.
Oh yeah, which
Yeah.
you do so often.
No, I don't, which is why I have the opinion that I have.
I know, but people
I think our privilege bubble is.
people
Yeah.
who work 9
You
to
agree?
5s
I agree. We're
still
all in
spend
this.
hours on social
Yeah.
media.
That's
What?
true.
People who work 9 to 5s, many still find hours of time for social media outside of work or during. it.
Yeah, but maybe not hours of time to be fighting in comment sections like the non-binaries do.
True, but that's just most people don't leave comments. Comments are like
I
5.
don't think I've ever seen a bitch who has a 9 to 5 who is also non-binary.
Yeah.
Well, Starbucks doesn't do 9 to 5 hours. It's like more.
Starbucks.
That's
true.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's the only time I'll use your pronouns is because I want my latte to come out right.
Mm.
All right, let's be educated more.
A few days ago, I didn't even know what omnisexual was. Welcome to Being a Better Ally, a series for us to connect, ask questions, and learn together. I'm not an expert, I'm just curious and trying to do better. Today we're learning what it means to be omnisexual, or omni for short. Omnisexuality is a multisexual orientation where someone is attracted to people of all genders, with omni being Latin for all or every. What makes it different from being pansexual is that pan people often experience attraction regardless of gender, but for omni people, gender can still play an important role in their attraction. Someone who's omni might be attracted to different genders in different ways, or have different preferences based on gender. It doesn't mean they're attracted to every individual, in the same way that straight people aren't attracted to every opposite gender person. Importantly, omnisexuality falls under the bi plus umbrella, but it's its own distinct experience. It's not bi erasure, it's clarity. As an ally, respecting micro-labels can help people describe their experiences more accurately, find community, and feel understood in a way that broader terms don't fully represent. If you're omni and up for it, we'd love to hear about your experience in your own words. And if you want to be a better ally, consider this an opportunity.
But it's also like the be a better ally thing comes from such a huge place of moral superiority.
It's kind of manipulative.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
I
I'm
like
better
that.
than you, be better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen to me because I am acting in a better way than you. Like,
So,
that's gross.
We now have 3
Mhm.
terms that all mean the same thing.
They all mean bisexual.
Omni,
Why?
pan, and bi. It doesn't matter whether you're attracted because of the gender or despite of it, you're still attracted to both genders.
Yeah.
And there's only 2.
Or just bi. It's like non-binary is with the gender, like the woke version, right? And then the bisexuals, this is their version with sexuality. Because then they
Mhm.
have to keep elaborating, oh, well, it's omni, it's this and that. It's just bi. Like, this is all a subset. It's all, we need like a flow chart at this point.
I feel like people really don't have any sense of personal identity anymore.
Yeah.
Like they have to label everything to figure out who they are. And it's kind of sad. Like they can't just be whatever your name is. Like, okay, yeah, my name's Clark. I like this type of person. That's my type.
Mm-hmm.
No, now it needs to be a huge umbrella term because I need to
I need
find
a
other
micro
people.
label.
I need a micro label so then I can find other people who feel this way and then I can connect with them because it's like there's no sense of community in people's lives.
Yeah.
There's no sense of identity. And like I guess they're just searching for it through social media algorithms and they need keywords. I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Mm-hmm. They can't find a partner. Maybe that's the problem. So already
Oh.
you're bi, but that's not enough. So now you're like omni. So it's like every single person, maybe.
Maybe I don't know though. I maybe it's just an attention thing.
I think a lot of it is that. It's like being bi isn't special.
Yeah.
But I'm pan. I'm omni.
I think being bi is special.
No, lots of people are bi.
Yeah.
There are more bi.
Most people are probably bi.
There are more bi people than gay people by a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah,
true.
but also a lot of them lie.
Yes.
Men do. Women, I think there
Really?
are. My theory.
The opposite.
Oh no, my theory is there's lots of bi women.
Yeah.
And then there's very few bi men. Now there are some.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying.
said men do lie.
Yeah,
Didn't you
because
say women lie about being bi?
I think many women lie.
some do, but what I'm saying is men often lie and say they're bi, but they're actually just gay, and they're like coming.
Oh,
at first,
okay.
yeah, I'm coming out as bi.
Oh, I was
Oh.
thinking the bi women who are actually just straight, but then they say they're bi.
Yes, that was my sister.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she literally came out. This is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
She came out to us when she was in college, and my whole family was accepting, except
Mhm.
for me.
Wait, your sister's bi?
No, but she
thought-
came out as bi to us, and she was like, "I like girls too," and I'm
Mhm.
like, I literally said,
You're the homophobic one.
I literally
Biphobic.
said, I guess that's fine, but I don't really believe you.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, how can you not believe me? That's so unbelievably offensive. And then like a year later, she told me and my mom, yeah, he was right, actually. And so she basically like made out with a girl a couple times in college and then claimed to be bi. She's watching this right now. So sorry, bitch. I'm reading you for filth. I don't care. Anyway, and then she's like went back to dating men and was like, yeah, wait, that was actually just a phase. And I was exploring and I'm not actually bi.
Mhm.
And that's fine.
Many such cases.
Yeah.
Many such cases.
Yeah.
But that's why you don't just affirm. You don't have to reject someone. Like I didn't
Yeah.
beat her up and say,
And you're her
Well,
brother. You could be like, well, are you sure?
that's my job is to invalidate.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't know. I think a lot of guys are bisexual, but they're so deeply afraid of being labeled as gay. They're never.
It's not as accepted as
If you,
bi women.
yeah, like if you think about the culture of men specifically, so much of it is centered around not being perceived as feminine.
Yeah, masculinity.
Yeah, like everything about being masculine now, it's a very insecure version of it. Is
It's
like,
like domination over
yeah,
women.
like don't call me gay. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, that's gay, bro. Like, you know,
Then it's also
they're
so-
so afraid of being labeled as gay. It makes me think more of them are
Yeah.
bisexual.
but
than
then it
they
can be
are.
so homoerotic as well at times.
Yeah,
Like frat hazing and other stuff.
most men have
That's
had
how
a
they
gay
go around
experience
it.
too.
I don't believe that.
I do.
Most as in more than 50%.
Yes.
I absolutely don't believe
I
that. But
think
we'll never know because they wouldn't be honest in surveys.
Yeah.
They'd become
So-
a conservative commentator, maybe.
Have you heard the Elijah Schaefer tea?
No.
Oh.
Allegedly.
There's
What?
no, not allegedly. Home wrecking, piece of
Oh, the home wrecking
Psychopath.
isn't alleged, but the gay stuff is.
I've heard enough sources.
Allegedly.
I've heard enough sources too, but I say alleged because I don't.
Sue me, bitch. Discovery would be fun.
That's true.
Anyway.
He's just sitting here like,
I'm learning.
Guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, and become a channel member. We're going to play a really fun game after this, but only members, only normies. Who most of y'all aren't that normal, but whatever, will be able to join us. So do that now. Join button, link in the description. Also check out Misha's channel. She's been great. And she has a great channel. So subscribe to her as well if you haven't yet. And we'll be back with more real soon.